Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa in for Caitlin Nuclo. You are watching Eyewitness News right here on the Wax, and we have a lot of stories to get to. And we also have some big issues if you're traveling through Waterbury 84 westbound. That first alert traffic report to come. But first, we want to get to the first alert forecast, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi is back. How is Florida?
Oh, beautiful.
I bet.
This is the time of year. I mean, the tickets are a little bit more expensive. It's like they know the weather's perfect spring break. But it was phenomenal.
And you brought that warm weather with you.
You told me to.
I did.
I did.
I asked you to.
There you go. You asked
I requested.
Me to. You did. You requested and I delivered, because by the time we get towards this weekend, it's going to feel like Florida around here with temperatures in the 80s. Right now, a live look at Bradley. There's a few clouds out there. It's a pretty morning. Temperature 40, about a degree or two above where we should be for this time of year along the shoreline in Old Saybrook. A very pretty start. Hardly a cloud in the sky down there. Temperatures 30s to near 40. Notice even New Haven now 43. The cooler spot, that's Meriden, 33, 43 in Hartford, and 41 degrees in Willimantic. First alert live radar skins the state dry, and over the next, say, 5 days, besides maybe a shower or two, we're doing just fine. Even looking across the region, the Northeast, we're just fine as well. We had plenty of cloud cover overnight and a bit breezy as well, but since then, the things have certainly calmed down significantly. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast today, notice the abundant sunshine, temperatures climbing through the 50s, a few 60s today, more of them tomorrow, and then by the time we get to Saturday, we're talking 80s. Hard to believe, about 2 months ahead of schedule. We'll detail, though, any of those rain chances along the way and let you know how long the warmth lasts. That's ahead. Your first alert forecast. Good morning, Nicole.
All right, good morning. Well, unfortunately, it's not as good of a morning if you're heading on 84 westbound right between exits 17 and 16. The right lane is closed. We're dealing with about 3 miles worth of delays back into Middlebury at this point. This is the closest camera to where that crash has taken place. But you can see traffic is moving, which is some welcome news, but it's just at a crawl in some areas. I'll change up this camera and you can see this is right around exit 17. A tough go for those who are just approaching this area. So please make sure to grab the sunglasses before you leave the house first and foremost, because I think the sun glare, especially in this area, can get kind of dicey. And obviously, we don't know what contributed to this crash, but sun glare is out there, and you may want to not head on 84 westbound. Again, it's right between exits 18 to 16 where I'm seeing the heaviest traffic, and I'll continue to stay on top of this for you and bring you some more updates in less than 10. That's your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, right now, lawmakers are debating a proposal to lower your electric bills. It would also change the way the state buys power, saving you money.
Supporters argue it would decrease rates by 20% immediately and by 40% over 2 years. But opponents argue that it undermines regulations on utilities and discourages solar energy.
Also happening today, Eversource will update us on the summer rate changes and the impact to your energy bills. It comes just as we get ready for peak summer usage during the summer months.
All right, listen up if you use CT Transit, because more options are coming to you soon. In Hartford, additional pickups will be made at the stops right on Weston Street and Wethersfield Avenue. And then in New Haven, you'll be able to ride past the Amazon and right down to the Wharton Brook Industrial Center. The changes start on May 4th.
Well, starting today, work begins to replace 2 older bridges on 95 in West Haven. State leaders say the upgrades will improve traffic flow in the area. Now, one of the bridges is located over First Avenue. The other is right nearby the train tracks. They were originally built in the 1950s, and transportation officials say they are right now in bad condition.
The Connecticut State Department of Education says that they will not follow the Trump administration's new DEI compliance order.
Yeah, the big question is, how will this impact our funding for the state's education system? Your reporter Marcy Jones is breaking down what it could mean for you and your family.
That's absolutely right. Lots of questions at this time. Thankfully, we do know that some state leaders have said in the past that they are willing to step up and redirect funds to the state's Department of Education should they find themselves in the position of needing more money. A letter sent from the state's Department of Education to the Trump administration says that Connecticut is already in compliance with anti-discrimination laws and principles. As far as the impact goes, if the administration decides to suspend or cut funds in response, that federal money is used to help students with disabilities and low-income families. It also is likely to impact cities like Waterbury, Hartford, New Haven, and Bridgeport that rely on that money more heavily. It should also be noted that Connecticut is not the only state pushing back. We're among 11 others, including New York, Colorado, as well as California. Your reporter in Hartford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Marcy. Also happening today, Senator Richard Blumenthal will be calling on the Trump administration to explain why college students here in our state had their visas revoked. In fact, over 50 students were affected by this across our state. Both Yale and UConn say they've not been told why.
Happening today, Jose Morales is expected to take the stand in his own defense. Once again, he's accused of killing Christine Holloway, the mother of his child. Their daughter Vanessa remains missing, and Morales is facing charges in connection to her disappearance. In court yesterday, we saw him claim that two men forced their way into the apartment, hit him in the face, and then beat Holloway with a crowbar. He says the men then took off with their daughter.
Hartford police are now investigating a carjacking that ended up sending a person to the hospital. Police tell us that the victim was forced right out of their car on Capitol Avenue and was hurt during the incident. Police have not released the identity of the suspect at this time, but will continue to stay on top of them for more details.
And in West Hartford this morning, police made an arrest in connection to a deadly hit and run. Police say the suspect hit a woman who was crossing Oakwood Avenue and then took off. Police say the woman was also hit by another driver just moments before. The suspect is expected in court next week.
Today, state officials are reminding folks about the increased activity of bears and some of the dangers that these bears can present, and especially this time of year because that's when they're starting to come out.
Yeah, they're looking for food. Owen Kingsley is your reporter right now, who has a exclusive about one man's close call with some bears.
This is the time of year that bears are waking up from that winter hibernation and becoming much more active. Now, one man in Bethlehem, he says he found himself just face to face with a bear in his garage and his two children not far away. Todd Topics was awoken in August by his pregnant wife after a bear came within feet of his two kids. He says the bear grabbed a few bags and was chased up a tree by their dog. When the bear didn't back down, Topics fired a few warning shots and the bear ran into the woods. The next day, he realized he actually shot the bear unintentionally after a neighbor reported the dead bear to police. He was caught in a tough situation between self-defense and breaking the law. Topics was arrested by Connecticut's Department of Energy Environmental Protection 2 weeks later. Some state officials have said Topics was justified in protecting his family, according to a 2023 law that outlines when you're allowed to kill a bear in self-defense.
We were all threatened. It entered our home. And I had no idea why Deep ended up charging me for this.
Now, Deep is not commenting on this situation, but they are talking a little later today here in Burlington about what we should be expecting in the coming weeks and months as bear activity increases in this area of the state. Your reporter in Burlington, Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And as we get another check of your first alert forecast, not only is it the time of year when the bears will be coming out, but the temperatures can spike into the 80s, and yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at by this weekend. Right now, a live look outside. We won't see 80s today. We'll be about average. Our average this time of year in the Hartford area, 61. We're shooting for about exactly that. Looks good in New Haven, though. See a cloud or two. Otherwise, it's a mild start, 43. Cooler in Meriden, where it's looking at 33. Everybody else is upper 30s and lower 40s. We're down anywhere from a degree to as much as near 13 degrees. Cooler pocket in Meriden, but tomorrow morning we're talking temperatures much cooler than where we are right now. There's already a frost advisory. Have cold temperatures everywhere, but the growing season has begun along the shoreline. So they have that frost advisory. This is tomorrow morning when we can expect temperatures near freezing, if not a few degrees below. But fast forward to the good stuff. This is Saturday afternoon. Look at Hartford, 80, 79 in Middletown. It'll be cooler right along the immediate shoreline. But either way, Saturday is the pick day of the next 7 with temperatures not near record warmth. The record's actually in the mid 90s, but we'll be mild. Today, it's a near perfect average day, upper 50s and lower 60s. Looking at low 60s in the greater Hartford area, even along the shoreline with that onshore breeze, looking at 50s and 60s. We'll detail, though, any rain chances along the way and how long that warmth lasts. That's ahead with your full First Alert forecast.